Hi there, welcome to this demo of the ExtendX data analysis control. To get to the ExtendX screens, you need to click on the ExtendX data analysis drop down menu here. Now you have to close the navigate screen prior to clicking on this ExtendX drop down menu. So click ExtendX data analysis and you'll end up with a ExtendX data analysis menu. Currently there are a number of analysis screens to do with manufacturing jobs, and there is a customer product sales analysis screen as well. So let's have a look at one of them. Let's have a look at the resource usage. So on this, these screens you are able to enter in the parameters that you require. So in this case we have a date range and we have the ability to select a resource. To select a resource or a number of resources, you can just multi-select and go select. You can view the resources here. Alright, and to delete them, just multi-select again and F3 to delete. So we've ended up with two resources, run the Miano and set a Miano. So we now enter our date range. So let's go 010909 and 311209. Okay, so we've selected the resource and we've now selected our date range. Let's go OK. And it now brings up the ExtendX screen. Let's clear the screen so you can see how to use it. On the right hand side here we can restore the layout to the default. So if we click that, it resets the screen back to square one. So on the screen now we have, on the left hand side here, we have the fields that are available to build the pivot grid, which will be over here. So let's start building the pivot grid. So let's put the period here. So that's the months that we selected from the front screen. Let's bring across the hours. Let's bring across the resource. Okay, and if we wanted to, we could also bring across the employee. And you can play, you can swap them around. You could go employee resource, for example. So what we've now created is a three-dimensional view which will enable us to view it in a graph. So if we now click on the bar graph, we've now got a chart created. We close that. We can right mouse click on here and we could collapse it so that we've now only got the employees. We go back to our bar graph. Okay. If we want to retain the graph, you need to go Alt Print Screen and then clear it out and drop it into, right mouse click, paste it into a report or into Word, or you could paste it into edit paste into the paint, so you could create a JPEG or a bitmap. If you click into any of the cells on the pivot grid, the data that makes up the pivot grid, the pivot cell, is then displayed down here in the data panel. So we clicked on the 23.5 hours, and the data panel shows how those hours are made up. Some of the columns, you can, if we double click on them, will take you, enable you to drill down. So we could drill down back to that particular job, and you can now view transactions, etc., like you would normally do within MAXIM. Again, right mouse clicking on the columns, you've got various options to sort. You can, for example, if you don't really need these two columns here, so if you write, you can remove the column. Might not want the employee code either, so we can remove the column. So it just enables you to remove columns that you're not interested in, and gives you a better view. Also, if you right mouse click in a blank area, you've got the ability to toggle the design panel off and on. The design panel is this over here, and the grid panel is this down the bottom here. So if we toggle the design panel off, the data is refreshed and the design panel's gone, so you've now got more room on the screen. You can create a PDF of the pivot table. You can create an HTML printout of the pivot table. You can export the pivot table to Excel, and you can export the details to Excel. So again, just right mouse click to bring out the options. So we can exit out of that screen. On the front screen here, I've identified the columns that if you double click into, it will take you, it will drill down to one of the MAXIM screens. Let's have a quick look at the customer product sales. Again, selecting a period, and it will create data 12 months back from the period that you select, and also equivalent 12 months for the previous year. You need to select analysis option, so let's say we're looking at territory. So it's selected the data. On here you can see that we can drill down to the product code and the client code. Okay, so again, here are all the fields that you can drag across to the pivot table. So if you want to see the pivot table by the analysis, so that was what we selected on the front screen, and that's the area. So here's the sales by region. Again, if you right mouse click, you can sort, so you can get it into order. You could drag the client across here, so it would be analysis by client. Again, right mouse click, sort there, and you've got your top ordered by sales ordered by client. You want to see your sales by product, drag the product over. Okay, you could, so this is sales this period, so this is sales last period. We could also include gross profit this period. Okay, so it's about dragging and the data that you want into the pivot table. Now again, if we now click on any of these cells, the data that makes that value up is now displayed down here. Now remember that we could drill down to the client code, was one of the ones we could drill down to. So if we double click on the client code, it takes us into the inquiry screen, and we can go wherever we want. The other one was the product code, so if we again drill down to the product code, it takes us into the inquiry screen, and we can look at history and pricing, etc. Okay, now this won't, because this is not three-dimensional, we won't get a graph out. We hope that you find this very useful. We think it's an excellent tool, and over the coming months we will be developing more and more data views, so that ExtendX can be used so that you can analyze data. To get back to your main navigate screen, just click on the navigate button and you're back in business. Okay, talk to you later.